Okay, Teen Recovery Testimonies 2021. So, welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Can you start by giving us your name?
I'm Jasmine Velarde,
Okay, and where did you grow up?
Hollister, California.
And have you lived in Hollister your whole life?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do we know each other?
I remember you came into juvenile hall when I was first in there, and you were discharging me with questions, and then I ended up going to your teen recovery group, and then now we're close friends.
Good. Yes, we are. Um, so, how long did you struggle with addiction? Approximately. Like, how old were you when you started, maybe?
When I first started, I was 13 years old.
Okay.
And then all the way until probably I was 19.
And what was the first drug you or alcohol you used?
It was alcohol and weed.
Okay. So originally, alcohol and weed were what you used on a regular basis?
Yes.
And at that time, what was your drug of choice?
Meth.
Okay. So then it moved to meth. Okay. So, so explain a little how your drug addiction progressed, like from drug to drug, and then like maybe some things that happened in your life, maybe that caused it to progress.
Okay, so I first started with alcohol and then weed, and then it went from weed to coke, coke to meth. And
What caused you to move to those next ones?
because, first one of them wasn't doing nothing to me, and then I stopped liking alcohol after I started doing meth, and meth was, meth kind of just made me stop doing all the other stuff.
Okay, and it became the one you did regularly?
Yes.
Okay. So, were you ever arrested while under the influence?
Yes.
And approximately how many times were you arrested or locked up? Do you remember?
All the way from age 13 to 18, in and out.
Okay. Okay. And what was the longest time you would say you were? I know I added a couple questions, but how long would you say the longest you were out before you violated your probation or got put back in?
I think the most I was out probably a month.
Okay. And how old were you when the first time you were arrested? You said 13, right? Um, so spend about 10 to 15 minutes sharing where your drug addiction took you, the things maybe you tried in order to stop, and then what did you experience that led you to where you are today? How did you, get on a healthier track?
While I was in and out of group homes, I didn't really see my mom as much. So, and then just seeing them, when I was younger, when I was super small, drinking, partying. So then I was like, oh, this is the life, you're supposed to live. And then my grandma, I was living at my grandma's at the time, and I wasn't happy because I was sexually abused by her son, and by by them not believing me, kind of made me just run away and just start drinking and partying, and I put her through so much pain doing that because she was always looking for me, calling the cops, and at that time I didn't care because I was going through my own things, and then from then, I was stealing beers from the stores. I was not caring about anybody's feelings. I just kept on partying with the same people and just kept on using. And then I tried to get help, but I think at that moment I wasn't ready. I felt like, oh, well, I don't have no kids. I don't have a family. So, it's just me. And I'm going to do whatever I want. And, that thinking, it wasn't the right thinking because it put me in situations where I almost got killed. People were just after me, and I ended up getting into these people that were selling me, and I thought that was the life, but then, I was really tired of it. Then I became homeless because I didn't have nowhere to go, and I just kept on wanting to use instead of getting the help that I needed. And then, I ended up going to a rehab. But then one incident happened that my mom said that she was going to come see me. And she didn't see me, so that got me really upset. And I was already in there for 3 months. And by my mom not showing up, just made me leave the program. And by that time, I stayed clean probably 2 weeks. And then my boyfriend at that time, well, I'm married to him now, but he was using, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start using. Oh, wow. Don't have really nothing, you know what I mean? And where I'm at now, I have a son. I'm clean. Been clean for a year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My son is my motivation to staying clean. And now I'm working at a rehab called Sun Street Centers. And my life right now is a blessing because I'm more happy. I'm outgoing. I'm there for my son every time that he needs me.
So where does your hope come from?
My faith in God.
And so do you feel like your faith in God and your commitment to follow Jesus has made a difference?
Of course.
So can you give me a little example of what you would say is the difference for you now?
The difference for me now is that I'm praying a lot. I'm going to groups through church, so I'm just staying connected.
Staying connected with your shirt. So what are some positive things that you've experienced especially in your last year of being clean and sober, that have been positive and have really made you I don't know, feel joy or happiness in your life? Yeah, obviously your son. I mean, I think that, but
yeah.
if you have there been things that you realize are better now than they were, even especially growing up, or I don't know?
Yeah, no, my life is totally, better now. And what was the question again?
What are some positive things that you experienced since you've been in recovery? So the last year of recovery that have been positive to you.
Now I have a good support system. And whenever I'm going through something, I give them a call. And my number one is my son. He makes me happy. Seeing him makes me happy, and so.
And I would assume you want a better life for him
Yes.
than you had.
I don't want him to grow up the way I did.
Right. So you're working to break that cycle.
Yes.
Good. Okay, do you have any final words you'd like to say to the youth watching this video?
Yes, I do. So that you're not alone, and that don't be afraid to ask for help. And your hardest time often lead to the greatest moments of your life. Keep faith, it will be worth it at the end. The most amazing things in your life tend to happen right at the moment you're about to give up. No, give hope.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for sharing your personal story with us. And of course, as you know, I wish you all the best, and I know you're going to do great, and your recovery is going to continue. And I thank you for opening up your life to those teens that are watching today.